coming to you from the One More and I'm Out of Here studio.
Is that what it is today?
That's what I'm calling it today.
It's
interchangeable.
It's another episode of the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Carroll. And if you've been watching the podcast over the last several weeks, we've been starting off each one with a
bullshit.
A little video of one
bullshit.
of my buddy Andrew Pappas' former girlfriends. Andrew, you'll be glad to know we are not doing that today.
Oh, good.
But I need to relate to our viewers a story, a little incident, you might call it.
It's like a Festivus miracle
that happened over the weekend.
Festivus.
And it's funny because it's similar to what we were talking about last week, with what are they calling it? Signal Gate.
Yeah.
Right. Where, some
didn't hear much about that today, did you?
Some douchebag.
I think we should
guy
get
from
on
the Atlantic.
We should get on Signal.
Got on a chat. And,
that's how we communicate.
That included Pete Hegseth and other members of the cabinet.
Yeah.
Well, something similar happened this weekend.
Oh.
And I was at home just minding my own business.
I don't like where this is going.
And all of a sudden, I get a notification on my phone, that you're in a chat. And it was a chat that Andrew was the
I had a feeling.
What was the main person of, and he was chatting with several we'll just say of his like-minded friends. And what he did was he sent me, and I guess he sent to all the members of this particular chat, of which
is this story going to get
I was not meant to be in.
Yes.
He sent a link to his favorite page on something called OnlyFans. I'm not all that familiar with OnlyFans, but
we discussed this the last show.
I said I've never
have an
I
OnlyFans
said I've
page.
never been on OnlyFans.
We talked about setting.
You
one up
apparently
for you.
have.
Whatever.
And he sent me a link to what he described to his like-minded friends as his favorite OnlyFans page, and I thought it only right that I share it with
this
our
is a
viewers.
large buildup. It better be funny. That's all I'm saying.
Let's see it,
or it must piss me off.
Jason's got the video.
Oh, it's
Oh, he messed up.
No, I didn't. Oh, no,
Here we go. I must admit I've never seen anything like it before.
And this was on the group chat that I mistakenly included you on.
That's what happened this weekend.
The story that you're going with?
Trying to be honest with our viewers.
Nothing but honesty, huh?
And so there we go. It seems to be a beyond middle-aged gentleman who enjoys some self-punishment in certain ways.
What the fuck is that? What is that?
This is.
Oh my god!
Is that somebody? Is that somebody that you hang out with all the time?
Oh god!
You can find all sorts of interesting things on OnlyFans. Apparently,
is that really on OnlyFans or is that on just somebody sent? No,
that was TikTok. You should know. You sent me the video.
It's on the lip. Probably looks like the libs of.
So that's what happened to me this weekend.
Did you stay on the page?
Slightly disturbing.
Slightly disturbing.
Well, no, I didn't go to the page. It was in my chat.
So that
I wasn't supposed to be part of that particular chat group.
It's a shame on me.
Jason, I didn't notice if you were part of that chat group or not.
I was not, but I wasn't in that chat group, but I was in another one.
And there was another one.
And they sent me this one about Andrew.
Yeah, it's always
it was fucking odd.
It's a great show.
So another OnlyFans page.
We should change the name.
That Pappas enjoys.
Kick Pappas and the Nads show.
All right, here we go. Look at that. Well, that was dandy right there.
So this is what Andrew does on his weekends, apparently, is what the message said.
I could see.
Okay, what is
and this apparently they do this in Michigan a lot. And he's on his way back up to Michigan tonight.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Is that a furry at Anderson High School? Furries at Anderson High School, and some of the school board members seem to support it. So I'm puzzled. Is this is what you're?
I love it that the guy who's doing the instructing seems very proud that he was able to instruct that person.
Well,
not only wear a dog mask but roll over on command.
Jesus.
Well, that I don't know. Do you call that a referee? I don't know, but he was very good at his job apparently.
These people, here's the thing. These people live among us. They live among us. You may not know, but they do live among us. And
apparently you chat with them on a regular basis.
Apparently I do. But I mean, here's the problem. I mean, they vote. They vote, and their friends vote. And so my vote,
they get the privilege of voting.
Yeah, my vote's canceled out by that freak's vote. It's just Ugh.
I just didn't know you were into that shit.
Oh, you know what?
You feel like
Whatever.
you feel like you know
I mean,
somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something I'll let you guys run with this shit. I
You
don't
feel
care.
like you know
It's one of
somebody.
the funniest fucking things.
What do they say? Methinks
You know,
they
look,
doth protest too much.
It's like, I'm not judging.
I'm
No,
not
no,
just-
no,
I swear,
Jason,
man,
you don't judge people.
I don't judge.
No,
I
no
swear,
judgment.
it's not mine.
I'm,
It's not mine.
I'm very unjudgmental.
One book by Austin Powers.
Whatever.
That's my
whatever,
bag. baby.
whatever floats your boat.
Right
brother.
before you got here, Dan showed me those, and that was like, that is absolutely.
Here's the deal. I feel
Stunningly
like when
perfect.
Dan gets here before I do, there's always some little chat going on beforehand. I walk in and you guys are like, shh. here
Well,
he
guess what?
comes.
If both of you would show up early, then we would
Well,
know.
I was running late today. I have a full plate. My schedule is full. The pattern's full, and I came in hot. So
You did.
forgive me.
That's all right. Where we want to go first?
You're the man with the keyboard.
I know you
my-
guys. Andrew sent me a bunch of stuff.
I did, didn't
Dan-
I?
Dan
I,
sent
and I
me
sent
those
it
two
timely,
things.
didn't I? I was timely, wasn't I?
You were.
Yeah. So you bitched last show, and I changed my ways, and I said, "Let me send this to Jason."
Good man.
Thank
Good
you.
man.
So thank you for the shout out. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
my
Somebody
favorite-
else didn't send me anything except for those two things.
My favorite headline of the day
Yes.
comes from the New York Post, as it so often does. Elon Musk reveals Doge new target: members of Congress who strangely got wealthy.
Thanks. That's long overdue.
World's richest man dying to figure out how lawmakers on Capitol Hill got strangely wealthy despite their comparatively modest public salaries. Speaking at a town hall in Wisconsin, I said, did you see any video of that, by the way?
Which one?
Musk
I did not.
in
I saw it.
Wisconsin?
I saw just a little bit of it.
He goes to a town hall there. He walks out. And he's got a cheese head on.
I heard he threw out $2 million checks. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Oh, yeah. And the libs are completely bent out of shape.
Yeah, so
about
the Supreme Court
Losing
ruled
their
that he could do.
minds.
I guess it was Supreme Court of Wisconsin ruled that was allowed, and he made two people in the crowd. Was it millionaires? Which is pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
that's pretty cool. One attendee at the town hall. I mean, that's how you get people to show up at a town hall. You could walk away with $1 million check.
You know what? I mean, that's how you get people to show up at protests at Tesla.
Apparently.
you pay them. So.
And I got some information on that today. But one attendee at the town hall asked Musk that Doge had uncovered evidence of funds wired from the USAID to Maxine Waters, Adam Schiff, and Majority Leader Chuck Schumer,
Yeah.
or Minority Leader, I should say. The government sent money overseas to one NGO. He said then they'll go to a bunch of them. He said, I'm highly confident that a bunch of that money comes back to the United States and lands in the pockets of the people you just mentioned.
Dude, I mean, we have documented cases already
Yeah.
of NGOs, spouses of elected members of Congress getting money. Their spouses work for the NGO.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen,
It's all
not-
connected,
it's
man.
all ball bearings.
Yeah.
And I'm fully confident that he's going to find a lot of fraud there. Let me ask you a question, just on the aside, which means we didn't talk about it. I want your guys over, since we're talking about Musk and the deal in whatever in Wisconsin. What do you think? Give me a percentage of the fraud that he's going to find in Social Security when he dives into it. I mean, what percentage of that budget do you think is fraudulent?
Jason, you want to take that?
I'm going to go 50 to 60.
Ooh, Jason's high. I mean, I don't know. There's no answer.
That's-
There's no wrong answer.
No,
but you swung for the.
That's my guess.
You say 50 or 60%, Dano?
Well, I saw Elon Musk and his several members of the Doge team being interviewed by Brett Baer on Friday.
I
which
did
was
see.
really,
I saw
really
part
good.
of that as
Good,
well.
wasn't it?
And I think they said that the number was like 40%.
Yeah, I mean,
of-
and then they're not
of-
even into it. Really.
yeah.
They're not in. They're. I think they said 40% of Social Security
Yeah.
numbers, but I mean, when they really dig down into it, the payments made, payments received, maybe duplicate payments, fraudulent payments. I don't know if I'd say 50 to 60, but I'm going to say in the mid 40 to 50s. That's what I'm going to say. 30 to 50, which is a big range. So let's say,
Excuse me.
right off the bat, 30, and then you're going to add another 15 to 20% on top of that.
Tell us 1293 said at least 40.
It's astonishing. Whatever the final
Throw out
number's
your
gonna come
numbers.
out to
Throw
be.
out your numbers, people.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
guys, I mean, I'm interested, and let's be fair. That's 40% of our really big numbers. So
Yeah.
that's been going on for decades and decades and decades. We've been, not necessarily losing money, So we've been spending money fraudulently, and your government finally someone cares. But rather than celebrate that, we seem to have a lot of people in this country, or maybe not a lot, but some people that are being paid to protest Elon Musk at his dealerships for some reason that I'm unaware of, that doesn't affect anything, and damage whatever car has the name of his namesake on it, Tesla. And I find it, I'm waiting, sadly, I'm waiting for someone to get injured because I know it's coming, and I hope, I don't see any call. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you see any Democrat leadership, any elected official calling for common sense, a cessation of violence, a cessation of hostilities against people that drive Teslas and or Elon Musk?
No, I see Democrat leaders cheering it on, much like Kamala Harris did,
much like our prosecutor
during
Connie Pillage did
the George Floyd, Black Lives Matter riots.
Yeah.
Well,
she went on TV, and then I mean, not only did she support a bail fund for those who got arrested for the burning and the looting and the killing of people, to get those people out. She also went on Colbert and said that these protests are not going to stop, and they shouldn't stop.
Well, I mean,
and this is what Democrats do.
So that leads a little bit, and we're going to touch on the Tesla protests here. I see Dano has one on the screen, but
I've got a video ready to roll too.
Which one you want to? You want to go with the violence against Republicans? You want to go with? Let's roll into some of the Tesla stuff. Why don't we do some of the Tesla stuff?
So let's do the road rage one that you set.
Has your faux Tesla vehicle been assaulted yet?
My faux Tesla vehicle has had no faux assaultage on it yet.
I was telling my
maybe your little ruse isn't working as you anticipated.
My ruse will work. I just have to find the right moron.
Well, you got to drive over to Blue Ash, by that Tesla dealership because they're protesting there all the time. But
is that where Connie Pillage was?
I'm not sure if that's where she was or not,
because I think there's only one.
I told my captain about your badges that you put on your car. He was like, "That is fucking awesome."
Badges. We don't need no stinking badges.
So here, I got this video that you sent me, Andrew. This road rage incident, which I think is it's so stupid. It's so stupid because you're driving a Tesla car, that these idiots. Yeah, we've showed a ton of the vandalism or whatever. We got a couple more of those, but
never.
But this road rage incident is, I mean, you don't know who that person is.
No,
they could be left leaning. But just driving a Tesla because that's what they were told to do fucking 2-3 years ago, right? I mean, so I just don't understand how people can't fucking people. But here's this.
It shows a green car pulling up to a Tesla on busy Route 66, then swerving in front to box the Tesla in. The driver then walks over to the 61-year-old woman in the Tesla and reportedly starts hitting her while she's sitting behind the wheel. At one point, the woman says she bit the man's hand. Moments later, the passenger of the green car appears to walk over and pull the attacker away. They finally get back in their car and drive off.
License plate recorded.
Today, who said she was terrified and can't understand why anyone would do this.
I was just stunned. And I wish that I would have had someone with me that would have protected me. Mm-hmm. I'm just appalled. I didn't buy my car for a political statement. I bought my car because it's really fun to drive, and my politics have nothing to do with that. And I'm ashamed of our society and what they're doing.
The victim, along with the other Tesla owner who received a threatening note and text, have both now signed up for a gun safety course at a gun range north of Flagstaff. They tell us they don't feel safe right now and want to be able to protect them. Take a look.
I think it's just absolutely fucking ignorant.
Well, she was 61. That's what I read also. She was 61 years old.
There was another one.
I think that's the one that was 61 though.
The one with the note, I think. Either way, it doesn't even fucking matter.
My point is that
she bought a car because it's fun to fucking drive,
and that's her right to buy whatever fucking car she wants.
Yes.
So someone cut her off, got out of the car. I read a different report on that. She actually she rolled down her window for some reason, and they stuck their hand in the car and started assaulting her. And then she actually bit the assailant with her teeth.
Good for her.
Typhus. And then the passenger in the car that swerved and cut him off came and got the guy assaulting or the person assaulting her and dragged him back to the car, and they left. Now, she didn't have a gun. You know, I knowing a little bit about gun law, I don't know that that's necessarily life-threatening. She would have had a pepper gun. That would have been a lot better, pepper ball. But at the end of the day, yeah, like a paintball, just light them up. Light them up. But, you know, this is what's, as Dan, you know, alluded to and said, I don't see any Democrat leaders calling for an end to this. I see them egging it on. I see them celebrating it. I see them doing much like they did during George Floyd, is, you know, enjoying this, and they like the chaos. It's what the left spreads.
Would you like me to play this one?
Which one's that one? Oh, yeah. So what happens when they get caught?
Because this, yeah, I mean, this rolls right in. So
this guy was tough. This was a tough guy.
I figured that
until he got caught.
Figured that'd be a good segue. But
let's seg and way.
This shit just cracks me up. When I watched it, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, start it over. Boom.
How about you pay for the repairs? Write a check. You just bought a Tesla.
I can wipe it off.
No.
It's not cheap.
It is a
It
hate
was
crime,
it was
sir.
a tryout.
It is a hate crime. Did you write a swastika on there?
I'm sorry you're upset.
Did you write a swastika?
It didn't even work.
Roll the tape.
What an ass clown.
Oh, we lost sound.
No, it's the video from now.
Oh, from
Apparently
Did you write a swastika on the? It's a key, sir. We see it on the video.
It's not a key.
Is it a swastika?
It's not a key.
Is it a swastika?
Have you looked at your car?
Is it a swastika?
Is there a key
Yes. Is it a swastika? It's at the police right now. It's being fingerprinted.
No, they can't
What do you
fingerprint
mean
that.
it's being fingerprinted?
Because they're trying to track you down.
What do you mean it's being
Thankfully,
fingerprinted?
Facebook tracked you down.
Uh-huh.
So your business, your freaking livelihood, everything now,
Listen.
because you chose to write so you tell Facebook that you're sorry for writing a swastika on a Tesla.
Listen, I said I'm sorry.
For what?
And I
For what?
apologize.
For what?
I have nothing against
For
your
what?
car, and I have nothing against you.
Why'd you do
So
it then,
why
you
did
piece of
write a
shit?
swastika on a Tesla?
Obviously, I have something against Elon Musk, but that's not the
So
way
Obviously,
Elon
you
Musk
show my-
owns that car because
No,
it
he
was
owns
bought
the
and paid
company.
for. It was bought and paid for a long time ago.
That's why it's misguided, and obviously, I did not intend to do this.
I did not. Wait. I didn't do it, and
It's
you're a
1,000%
because you got caught because they video everything that's going on. So you didn't actually. The correct statement was, I didn't intend on getting caught. Now that I'm
Right.
caught,
Now it's misguided.
I was
You
misguided.
piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Hey, we got a guest. We got a guest sitting backstage. We're gonna bring him in for a few minutes. He wants to chat with you
First
guys.
is a great first. Yes.
Yeah. So we're
Well,
gonna
we had Zeke on. Too.
we're gonna welcome on James McGee. James, can you hear us? You good?
I got you. Can y'all hear me?
James, how's it going?
Absolutely.
Doing well. Y'all doing okay?
Living the dream, brother.
I got my when I died, you'd like to let me vote Democrat shirt. I felt like it was appropriate for this crowd because
Absolutely.
I know that you three will not let that happen.
Facts, sir.
You know, not that we're here, anticipating your death or anything.
Look, I came here really for one reason. Pappas, I got to ask you a question. I've been dying to ask you a question for months.
It's real.
It's real. And y'all are Jason's shitting right now because he don't know what the fuck's coming out of my mouth.
I don't know what's coming out of either one of these two.
Yeah. So Pappas, look, I know you got Louisiana ties, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, my family's from Houston. I've been plenty of times in Louisiana.
You're close. So I'm in Lake Charles, so you know where Lake Charles is.
Oh, absolutely. My roommate in college was from Shreveport. So, yeah,
Okay.
I had plenty of times.
So I need to ask you this. Did you really get called down for saying the word coon-ass?
Oh, absolutely.
What the fuck is wrong with you people up there?
They don't.
That is not racial. Coon-ass is
research.
not fucking racial. I've been dying to ask you that. Pappas, what the fuck's wrong with y'all?
They don't understand. You got to understand. You're dealing with the Midwest, okay? So
Yeah.
they've never heard of the term, and they don't understand the term and everything here. Plus, to be honest with you, the newspaper had a high hard one up for me. So they
And I could tell that. I'm sure you probably deserved it, Pappas. I'm sure you egged it on somehow.
Never.
The funniest thing of all is just as you brought up, you said, I mean, that is not a racial reference in any way, shape,
It's not.
Plus, the people that live there are proud of that name. That they look at it as a sense.
Now, this is back in the the 90s and the 80s. I haven't seen them too much lately, but you used to have old ladies riding around with a license plate that says "Proud Registered Coon-ass." Now, Pappas, do you know where Mamu is?
No.
Have you heard of Mamu? Mamu is actually the center of Cajun country, and that's where, Coon-ass was originated in Mamu. My dad was born and raised in Mamu. That's where the big Mardi Gras, the Cajun Mardi Gras, was originated in Mamu, Louisiana.
Well, I'll say this: so when I was, not to take over the show, but when I was raised,
it never happened.
Shut up.
Yeah, Jason said you always do that.
When I was raised, we used to go hunting every weekend, and my father's best friend during these trips was Robert Higgins. God rest his soul. No, he's still alive. I think Mr. Higgins is still alive. But anyway,
shit, you don't even know.
I don't know because I haven't seen him.
God bless him either way.
So anyway, Mr. Higgins was your typical Louisianan, just a great man with had a Cajun dialect, and I'll tell you what, those are some of the greatest people that I've ever met, because not only they're just good, salt of the earth people, and they have, let me tell you, the best food around. I don't care who you're talking to, the best food around, and they are half crazy. There's no question about it. They are half crazy. But
that's saying it nicely. They're full fucking nuts is what they are.
Yeah, but you know what? They're good. That's the good kind of crazy, and I like those people. And so when I said that, it was not a racial reference whatsoever. Now,
no, it's not. Nobody here would have thought that.
Give a quick background. Give a quick background.
Black people here would laugh at somebody if they said that was racial. Black people don't think that's racial.
So my parents set up some boudin. Now you know what boudin is. Over here they don't know what boudin is. Boudin is like is very similar to geta, except it usually comes in links. Not necessarily.
It's rice dressing in a sausage tube.
Right.
I love that.
And it's good stuff.
Very good.
But so my parents sent me up, and I had some, and I told them, I said, man, those coon-asses sure know how to cook. Well, sure as anything, the leftists grabbed a screenshot of that, and they ran to the press, and they said, Mr. Pappas is using racial terms. Well, it has no, I was puzzled because it has no racial connotation whatsoever.
None at all.
But in the time that we're living in, and the time in the past being a Republican and having nothing but liberal Democrats working for any level of the press, they chose to go down the racial route. What I've found, though, in my history is what leftists do, and back me up on this if you agree, what leftists do is they seem to transfer their feelings and their shortcomings onto you. So they said it was racist, even though, number one, they don't know what the term means. Number two, they just went down the road and they picked a part of that term and ran with it when it didn't mean what they said. So they're calling me racist. And I think more importantly, it says a lot more about them that's where their mind went when they have absolutely no idea of the dialect, the region, or anything to do with the term whatsoever. And the fact that it is worn with pride. And I can't tell you how many texts and emails I got from people in that region of the country that are like, hey, man, there's nothing racist about that. What's wrong with these people? And I said, it just is what it is. You're in Ohio, and perhaps I should have been more cognizant of the fact that nobody here knew that term, but it wasn't sent out for people here. It was sent out for my friends down south. Well,
you know what, Pappas, you shouldn't have to worry about people's fucking feelings. We have the First Amendment. It wasn't offensive to anybody. It should not matter. But you're right. The left, I've been on this thing about, and Jason, we talked about it last night, and I just put in the comments. One thing about the left, you got to give them, Pappas and Dan, they are some loyal motherfuckers. They're going to do whatever Daddy Soros says. It doesn't matter what's right, what's wrong. Look at these stupid broke motherfuckers. Y'all were just talking about Tesla. Look at these dumbasses literally carrying the torch for the liberals, a bunch of broke asses that are protesting the man who is trying to relieve their taxes by wasteful government spending, and they've got them convinced that Elon's the devil, so they can keep their kickbacks. They can keep their USAID stuff. That's what this is about. But, these liberals, and there are some dumb motherfuckers, but there's some loyal dumb motherfuckers.
No question.
And it's all part and parcel of what the Democrat Party has become, because it goes right. It fits right in with what I've been saying for years now, is that the agenda trumps everything. The agenda is more important than religion. It's more important than the Constitution. It's more important than the First Amendment, Second Amendment, or anything else. It's all about the agenda. It's more important than money. It's more important than the party. It's more important than America. The agenda is, you have to, at all costs, if you're in any sort of leadership role, your role is not to make America a better place. Your role is to further the agenda.
It's to govern.
And the agenda is the most important thing. And that's why they can, use all the circular logic they want to use. All the excuse making that they want to use for all these different things. No matter what is happening, they can find a workaround to put whatever they said in the past aside, because they are promoting the agenda at all costs. And there's too many people who go so far down that path, they lose their way, and they have no way of coming back to any sense of reality. And I think that's a big reason why we've gone so far down the rabbit hole in this country.
Well,
when it comes to all these different, especially the social issues. But when you look at all the important issues.
Listen, Michael Savage, the great Michael Savage, used to say liberalism is a mental disorder,
and he's 100% right.
He's 100% right, but I think it goes deeper than that. I think liberalism is a cult. And I think
100% is. No, it's 100% a cult.
It's become a religion to these people. And what you find is people that follow liberalism, the most liberal people that I've encountered in my life, are probably the least religious folks I've ever met. There's no religion in their life. There's no God in their lives. There's no joy in their lives. So they've replaced that vacuum with the God of big government, big liberalism, big idea, big social spending, big social programs. And that, they've also done where I said this on my personal page, some of the most charitable folks that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting in my life, and I mean charitable with their own money, are conservatives. Liberals usually
walk around with their fucking hands out.
Well, they not only do they have their hands out, they have their hands in your pocket. So they want to be charitable with your money and your taxes and the public money and public taxes. But when it comes time for them to write a check or give money at the offering plate, they are the least charitable folks among us. Now, I'd like to be proven wrong. Now, yes, some people say, oh, well, so-and-so gives a scholarship or gives an endowment to a university, and, this wealthy family gives money to, I don't know, some social cause that they want. But all that really does, and all those universities do, is keep the idea and keep spreading liberalism. It almost supports the very liberal nature that they have. So there's an
agenda if they give. There's a reason. That it absolutely is.
I agree wholeheartedly.
And talking about, Dan, when you're talking about these leaders, and something I said to Jason last night that really pisses me off. And look, this is Republicans and Democrats. For some reason, our elected officials think it's their job to one-up each other with these corny-ass one-liners and these bullet statements. That's all they come up with, the little bullet statements, and who can get the most clickbait. Well, my point is this. Y'all as podcast hosts, me as a podcast host, our job is to get clicks. Our job is to get followers. Their job is to fucking govern. And they're not governing. They're coming up with, like Jasmine Crockett shit the other day with, the Hot Wheels statement. And I told Jason,
I love that. I love you. You're the first person I've heard use that.
I don't know if I invented it or if I heard it somewhere, but I
was telling him before we started. I said, Jasmine Crockett shit.
It works, and she is.
And the worst one is a Republican. I don't like him, and I know a lot of people like John Kennedy because of the corny ass shit he says. But when was the last time John Kennedy did anything? All they sit around doing is waiting on their next how they can get how many views. It's about likes and clicks. That's for us to our business is built around that. Their business is to fucking govern.
I don't want to get too far away from John Kennedy here because you know what? You make a good point about him. The guy is great when it comes for a turn of a phrase. He is really good on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Well, and I don't know if you've seen the videos where he was, especially when Biden was putting up nominees for the federal bench.
I do. He did some good counter on that.
Yeah, he would ask them basic things that these judges should know in the law, and they were dumbfounded. And he just left them, with their mouths agape and looking like they were air breathers and knuckle draggers, and just total imbeciles. So he's good for that. But you make a good point. When it comes to action, when it comes to the rubber hitting the road, he's a little light in that area. He's a lot like Lindsey Graham, and this is why I don't like Lindsey Graham.
Yep.
The entire time Barack Obama was in office, Lindsey Graham was on Hannity almost every single night. Hey, we're going to investigate this. We're going to investigate that. I got a special committee looking at this. And then when it came down to it, he never did any of that crap.
No, he never followed through with
none of
anything.
Absolutely none of it. And Trump actually endorsed him, Lindsey Graham, because he's up for election again. And Trump came out and endorsed him the other day. And look, I like Trump, but there's some things he does that I don't like. And endorsing Lindsey
we talked
Graham,
about that last night too.
I guarantee you, Lindsey Graham is going to do everything that fucking Trump tells him to do. I don't know. I think he will.
No.
I think he will.
But that's what these idiots like Jasmine Crock of shit keeps coming up with this kind of all these little things. You know why she does that? Because she has nothing else. It's like the movie Knocked Up with the dice roll dance. That's her dice roll dance. She has nothing else. She has no accomplishments. She has done fucking nothing since she's been there, but jump and scream and say dumb shit like illegal immigrants are paying billions of dollars in taxes.
I saw that.
Go fuck yourself. It's a lie. But she just gets up there and says it like, when she says things too.
Did she also say they have a right to draw on Social Security?
She said they don't draw. She said they're paying in, but they don't draw.
She said they're, and part of that, let me tell you something, for as dumb as she is, and I do believe she's dumb because she's a fraud, as we all know. So there's nothing, she was raised in privilege, okay? The accent when she goes ghetto is
it's totally
hold
fake,
on, I got it right here.
Totally.
Yeah.
We're gonna play this just for a second. I won't play the whole thing, but we're gonna play this just for a second because she speaks completely differently.
Yeah.
When it's business time.
She's a lawyer. Where did she go to law school? Do you know?
I do not.
Okay.
It was a real school.
Jasmine Crock attempting damage control over comments she made about Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now.
I mean, she doesn't talk that way. That's not normal.
No.
Well, she's just like Camel Toe. It's no different than Camel Toe. That's what she did.
Is
man, I told y'all,
Kamala Lydia?
Yeah. Jason, I told you, let me on at your own risk.
Got you with that one. Kamala Lydia is a condition.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna jump out. I don't want to hijack y'all's show, but I appreciate y'all letting me come on. And look, I want to come on anytime y'all let me. And look, Dan and Pappas, I want y'all on the show whenever y'all ready. I want y'all to come on my show.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
Where we find you?
The James McGee Show on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. I do a show on Mondays and Fridays. Do a 5-10 minute show, just me talking about my bullshit philosophies that people probably don't want to hear. And then we try to go live on Tuesdays. We do Two Finger Tuesday, and we talk about politics. Jason comes on quite a bit. We have Tom Wells and Joe Collins, two friends of mine from the National Academy that I went with. Rich Crumman comes on with us a lot of times too. So we would love to have y'all.
I'm going to be down.
And
so
your TikTok channel is phenomenal. Your TikTok,
follow me on TikTok.
It's perfect.
Where you
follow me on? I'm the James McGee Show on everything. Yeah, follow me on TikTok because I say some crazy ass shit on TikTok. I'm trying to get banned. They won't ban me.
Where are you living at? Where are you living?
I'm in Lake Charles. Where you coming? Where are you going to, Pap?
Well, I'm going to be down there. I'm going to be down in New Orleans with the Soaring Valor, we're taking some more veterans down to the museum.
Oh, good.
In World
Yeah,
War
I'm 3.5 hours from New Orleans. Now I'm going to be in New Orleans. When are you going to be there? Because
I'll be there the end of May. I'm sorry, the end of April, the beginning of May for 4 or 5 days.
I'm going to be around there. I'm going to be around there end of April. Maybe we can hook up.
Absolutely, that's why I mentioned it.
I'll connect. I'll connect contacts.
Absolutely, you meet some great people.
James,
right,
we appreciate you, my man.
No, thanks for having me. Y'all take care. We'll see y'all soon.
Before you go, were you invited to the White House podcast, Roe?
No,
neither were we. So if you get invited before us, you better drop our name. That's all I can say.
I did go to the inauguration. It was uneventful because everything was canceled and it was cold. And
correct.
I don't have any real good stories for y'all, but I don't regret going. It was a cool time. It was really went with some real good friends of mine who had never been to DC. You know, we could say now here. I'll leave y'all with this. I'm one of the few people that can say that when Trump was it 2018 or 19? Pappas, you'll know. When the vote came in for him to be impeached, that was 19.
I think it was either. It gets fuzzy, but go ahead.
So I was in the Capitol when the vote came in. We were there to have a meeting. It was my sheriff and our chief deputy. We were meeting with our congressman, Clay Higgins. And we were in Clay Higgins' office when he came in from casting his vote. So I could say I was there when he was impeached, and I could say I was there when he was sworn in for the second time.
Awesome.
So,
that is awesome.
Not that means anything to anybody except maybe my mom, but that's what it is. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Good seeing y'all.
James.
Thanks, James.
Love you, brother. Be safe.
Love you.
There you go. That guy can be on our show anytime.
Anytime.
At least that's my vote.
Anytime.
Dude, he's hilarious.
What that T-shirt say? If when I die, don't let me vote Democrat.
That's
pretty good.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good. I like that. So where we
were talking about violence against Tesla. We had some videos on that.
We also have an ad read that we have to do.
Okay, there's a reporter named Azra Nomani, who formerly of the Wall Street Journal. Now she's writing for the Fairfax Times and has her own blog, I guess, on Substack.
I've read. This is very good.
And she did a deep dive into who are doing the Tesla protests.
Yes.
All right.
And share with us.
Here are some of the key findings.
Yes.
Groups and individuals allied with the Democrat Party have organized 100%
Oh shit
of the protest.
Now we have to drink, Dan.
Doesn't sound. Oh, there. Have it.
Okay,
hold on.
We're bringing that back, by the way. I'm getting a lot of like organic stuff from the podcast.
Well, that's just it
that we're missing.
They're trying to say that these protests are organic, they're grassroots, right? All that kind of crap. Only about 15 organizations and their affiliates are behind the protest nationwide. The most involved groups promote the hashtag Tesla Takedown protest, have combined revenues of $43.1 million.
Wow.
The groups include Troublemakers, a Seattle-based professional protest organization.
Troublemakers.
Disruption Project, a Philadelphia 501c4.
How is that possible?
I don't know. It's not a 501c3. It's a 501c4.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
What the difference sort of tax exemption.
Yeah. Describes itself as dedicated to supporting uprisings, resistance, and mass direction action. Disruption Project and Troublemakers have sponsored about 70% of the protests.
Not very organic.
Indivisible Project, another 501c4, has organized at least 28% of the protests. Let's see. Indivisible Action is a hybrid PAC. Local Democrat Party chapters have organized some protests, including members' participation in Fairfax County. Other Democrat organizations have sponsored protests, including the AFL-CIO, MoveOn.org. We've heard of that one before.
Yep.
Another one called Swing Left,
Swing Left.
which is I would say is probably a newer left-wing organization.
Coming forth the Caribbean.
Let's see, Democrat Socialists of America.
Oh, yeah,
we've heard of them before. So
I went to one of their meetings.
Has 5.8 million in revenue. There's a group called the Fight Oligarchy Club.
Oh yeah, because that's a big problem.
50501. I don't know what that organization is. And so it's a pretty good report. You can find it on your social media. It's out there all over the place.
Did you see Did you see that what happened at one of their protests promptly at 12 noon?
Today?
No, it wasn't today. It was one of the days this weekend. So promptly at 12 noon. So what you're telling me is those are professional protesters that are probably being paid to be there, correct? So promptly at 12 noon, I sent Jason the link, but I don't know if he got it. It was promptly at they were all out there, with their first of all, they had their pre-written chants. They had that,
right.
blah 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 blah, because everyone loves a good chant. Don't you love a good chant? I mean, I love.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
It's not, hell no, we won't go. So they do kind of something like that.
Well, back in the 80s and 90s, it was all the hey, hey, ho, ho.
Hey, right. So
come on.
And I mean, I'm telling you, if I go to a protest,
did you send that today?
No, I sent it yesterday. I think.
Okay,
but
I
it's okay. But if there's not a good chant, I leave the protest. But what happened was at this protest, they were filming it, and then straight up 12 noon, solid, like right at the stroke of 12, they all left. So it was like they're being paid for 4 hours. And God knows, as I discussed, charitable, they're not very charitable people. So they left once they stopped being paid, because there's nothing organic about these protests. Nothing at all.
Absolutely not.
Which is not necessarily frustrating me. I just don't.
Well, it figures they're watching the clock strictly, just like union employees, right? Who watches the clock more than union employees?
Nobody.
I mean, the second that clock hits quitting time, man.
Second hand passes the 12. They're out of there. They're out of there because they're not doing anything on free time. But hey, listen.
I don't do anything on free time.
I just want everyone to know when they see this is not just, hey, let's go protest because we don't. No, this is an organized event, much like the BLM protests. And I'm just calling it out for what it is. And I still, as you discussed, I don't understand what the purpose is. I just don't get. I don't get it. I mean, I just don't, because you don't like the man because he voted for Donald Trump, because he personally believes that Donald Trump is doing the right things. So you're going to try to take down his company? You think that's going to have an effect on people? Now, you can protest. I guess it's okay, or you have the right to protest. Sure. First of all, it's not organic, so I'll call it out for what it is. But what you don't have, and what our problem is when your protest becomes personal, pulling the woman off the road, defacing someone's car, vandalizing someone's car. That's where Democrat leadership and others need to call the line and say, do not do this. But as I've discussed ad nauseum, that has not occurred. The Democrat Party is, and when someone gets injured or, God forbid, killed, the blood of those people are going to be on the Democrat Party heads. And everybody that said, well, you got to understand, there's nothing to understand about this. There's nothing at all to understand about this. You don't have the right to hurt someone's property.
Well, what cracks me up, they're hurting the property, but they don't know the person that owns the property. They're just hurting. They're hurting a symbol, right? And it could be somebody that is like-minded with you, but they just don't want to just sell their car because, financial reasons or whatever. They could align with you, but they're like, you know what? I'm going to continue to drive this fucking car,
right?
Because I don't have that much invested in this bullshit. But all of a sudden now you're hurting me, but we're still on the same side. They don't give a fuck. They don't care.
Well, we saw the video. We played the video last week of the dude in Texas, the big fat guy on the 4-wheeler, right? That rammed into the Tesla.
Tons of fun.
Fox News had that woman on that owned that car on this weekend. And she is I forget her name, but she is a middle-aged black woman who owns the car. She said she worked very hard to save the money for that car. She's not a millionaire. She's not rich. But she had a chance to see a Tesla, decided that she liked it, worked, saved her money, so she said it's my dream car. I love that car. And this person just it just decided to ram his piece of crap four-wheeler.
His 45-pound four-wheeler and his fucking 400 pounds of fucking man meat.
And so she's the one who's getting screwed over.
Did it?
She wasn't trying to virtue signal. She wasn't trying to send a message. She was nothing political.
Did it delve into her politics at all? Did she discuss her politics?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
She said the car is not a political statement.
Right. No,
she says
not.
It's a car that I like.
Right.
And I worked hard. I say she saved. I mean, she worked for a long time. And unlike the vast majority of Americans, she saved money so she could buy that car. And here comes this dude just ramming his four-wheeler into it. For what? For the agenda. In support of the agenda.
Correct.
And so, good people like that get screwed. Let's go ahead and talk about our new sponsor here, Murphy Engraving. And, there are times in life when you have things that are the same. So something like your, parts for your Tesla should be the same, right? What's that? The graphics are.
Shut the fuck up.
So great.
If you have a weapon, ammunition for your weapon should all be the same. Fast food should all be the same.
Make a longer graphic.
When I drive through a fast food joint here in Anderson Township, I want it to be I want that burger to taste the same as the one I get in Peoria, Illinois.
It's Peoria now. We've gotten away from Mineral Springs, Arkansas. Traveling, are we?
Well, I don't want to name this,
It's variety.
I'm just thinking of different towns that I've been to.
You eat in a lot of places.
So dumb.
I've been to Peoria. Have you ever been to Peoria?
I don't think so.
Well,
foot forward with the fucking.
I spent a night
you
there.
You guys are doing great. You fucking two ass clowns.
He enjoys this.
You guys are ass hats.
Kevin,
so we're talking about things being the same, but there are times when you want things to not be the same,
right?
And that's when it's a good idea for you to check out our friends at Murphy Engraving.
Absolutely,
brothers Kevin and Brian Murphy. They have created one-of-a-kind gifts, business items, glassware, keepsakes, and more since 2022. I'm sorry, 2022. That's right. Murphy's laser engraving and customizing transforms anything that is made of wood, plastic, slate, stainless steel into something unique, worthy of being treasured for a lifetime. Mm-hmm. If your business needs 2,000 placards or that special athlete or student deserves a custom award, Murphy Engraving is the family-run business that can get it done. Check out what they've been making and what their customers are saying by scrolling through the Murphy Engraving Facebook page. Very simple, Murphy Engraving. Go on Facebook. Andrew, you know how to Facebook.
I find the platform a little upsetting.
And at Murphy Engraving, we are American made, and we thank them for their sponsorship of the One Morning Out of Here podcast.
Absolutely.
And speaking of Facebook, Andrew, you'll be interested to know that it appears that Zuckerberg, his right-wing metamorphosis appears to be a giant facade.
Does that mean fake?
Well, this article that's in Daily Caller talks about how, he came out and he talked about how they were influenced by the Biden administration, right, to throttle certain accounts,
right,
not put things on, not let things be posted and all that kind of stuff. Things had to be taken down. But apparently, Zuckerberg came out and said, look, there's a new era of openness, and we want truthfulness on First Amendment reigns on Meta, Meta or Facebook. But apparently the platform is still shutting people down right and left. Can you attest to that?
It's not supposed to happen.
I will tell you that miraculously, I still get every once in a while random fact checks that are just annoying because there was nothing even close to even.
Yeah. And apparently they're still labeling perfectly benign things as hate speech and all the rest of it. So.
I found some things. What did they do the other day? Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I don't think that he's got the basement dwellers in line yet.
Yeah, the basement dwellers.
Well, listen, when I think of a fact checker, I think of about a rotund huge pizza eating individual
It's fucking
with
orange Cheeto hands.
Orange Cheeto hands, nothing but wrappers and swill all
Maybe
around
an orange
him.
Cheeto, something
You know,
else.
a couple of Diet Mountain Dews, or diet because he's watching what he eats.
Well, easy. I drink a lot of Diet Mountain Dew,
but
I'm
Mountain
not a
Dews,
fact checker.
But anyway, and his skin suffers horribly from some condition, and he's in the basement just pounding away, checking your stuff. If you even
we call them trolls.
Yeah, but I mean, these guys are being paid by Meta.
Sure, but they're paid trolls.
And a lot of their AI stuff is not well done too. They had a lot of AI doing the checks on your posts, and I just find it hilarious. Well, they used to, what was it? One thing I put out a picture and they said we had to add context to your photograph. I was like, what? You had context? What? It's a photograph.
It's a fucking picture.
It's a picture.
What kind of context
do you want to add? Like, what are you doing? So yeah, I don't disagree. Now, need we remind everybody, was Zuckerberg at the inauguration? I think he was.
I think he was. Do you know that
almost
Dana White,
front row?
UFC president Dana White is now on the board
of well, whatever. I mean,
I think that's all a good thing.
If you ever saw the did you ever watch the movie about the founding of Facebook?
No, I did not.
He stole that idea. I mean, there's no question he stole it. Now,
yes,
it
was a great movie
from the two brothers,
from the two twin brothers. Yeah, he stole the idea.
Why did they let him get away with it?
They sued him, but they didn't get very far. Well, I mean, listen, he went far with it. I mean, he took it to fruition, but he did. It wasn't his idea. He didn't think of it. He wasn't the impetus. He wasn't the guy that thought of it.
That was a great movie.
It was a good movie.
Was it? It was called Social Media.
It was.
Is that the title?
I think it was.
That was a good movie.
Didn't it start as a just a way for like the faculty at whatever university they were at to be able to communicate with each other and pass messages?
It was a way. It was a way. That's correct. Not only the faculty, but also the members of a university to kind of just communicate easily to each other and just do stuff and then share stuff. And then he's like, well, why didn't we do it just for everybody? And
so you had Facebook and MySpace that sort of started at the same time.
You're still on MySpace, right?
Oh, MySpace.
Are you still on MySpace?
I was never on it. Does it even still exist?
You still have your AOL account?
Who didn't love MySpace?
Listen,
but
hey, Dan,
people in the maybe not everybody
was one platform actually better than the other? Because it's like VHS and Beta. Beta was actually the better platform.
Do you remember?
But VHS is the one that.
But it didn't last.
Hey, let me ask you, Jason? You probably don't remember this, but Dan probably does. So back in the day, when you had to call in, and AOL was the only game in town, and it had that noise that made that.
Oh, dude, I totally do.
That was the old dial-up.
The dial-up.
Yeah, the dial-up.
That is funny.
Hey, real quick, I just want to acknowledge some of the people that are in the chats real quick, just as we're going to the next story. But obviously, we had James on. Go follow James McGee. But we've got Jay Hunt, Falk Around and Find Out, loyal listeners, Tyler S., our buddy Cincy showed up. Will Cray was in here earlier.
I saw he showed up.
I'm going to cover at the end, just real quick, a story that was apparently close to Will Cray. We had a plane crash up in Minnesota, but our sponsor Kevin Murphy's in the chat.
Yeah,
Let's see who else we got. Bosco, obviously. Tell us 1293. Don't know who that is, but we're glad you're here. We like newcomers.
513 says Facebook started as a way to rate students' hotness.
It was something like that.
Is that true?
He might
that was a whole different website. It was called Hot or Not, and that shit was awesome.
Hot or Not.
That shit was badass.
I missed all that stuff.
I'm not. Did you see?
Liz Pittman, our cookie lady, who she came up to from Lexington to.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Rob's,
yeah, absolutely.
To Rob's.
You
Rob's
have a great
fundraiser.
memory. You have a great memory. That was good. That's good.
But yeah, we appreciate everybody being in here, man. That's
I
awesome.
ate all that stuff too.
Oh, it's so good.
I ate every bit. I think I ate it in the car on the way home that night.
I still got bourbon. I still got bourbon cream, Bailey's bourbon cream that she brought us as gifts, which was
fantastic.
awesome. But yeah, we appreciate Murphy, Kevin Murphy and Brian Murphy Engraving for being here as well. So you guys are the best. This was kind of a throw together show, but it's rolling. It's rolling perfectly well. I'm glad James came on. We had an impromptu bitch session last night for like an hour.
I know.
So he was like, "Hey, you want to come on?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." But let's see where else.
Can I get one of the most ridiculous things I saw today?
Today. I saw this. I fucking
today's
saw
like
this.
some.
I don't have anything to show you guys, but
Here's the headline. This is a story from the UK.
God, I saw this.
UK news. Toddler kicked out of nursery for being transphobic.
Toddler.
The child, aged 3 or 4,
Jesus. It knows what it likes. It knows
was
what it
suspended
likes.
for abuse against sexual orientation and gender identity.
Why is there that going on in the daycare center?
The incident took place during the 2023 academic year, according to the Telegraph. Further details of the case were not disclosed. In the same academic year, 94 pupils at state primary schools were suspended or permanently excluded for transphobia and homophobia.
Oh my God!
Let's see. It doesn't have a ton of details. But imagine that. How can a 3 or 4-year-old?
It's disgusting. It's absolutely why are
found
they
guilty?
Well, why are they? First of all, why is that even being coming up?
And how is a 3 or 4-year-old?
Well, they're in fairness, they're telling or they're asking 3 or 4-year-olds whether they're boys or girls.
I understand.
Yeah,
well,
that was my next point.
So it rolls right in.
How does a 3 or 4-year-old peer of that other 3 or 4-year-old exhibit or know? I mean,
it's ridiculous.
So you can claim it as being transphobic. Yeah. You can claim it as that, but then all of a sudden they know what they want to be.
Did you see?
Fuck you.
I sent you this video too. Did you see? Which you probably don't have it, but I sent you. I posted about it.
If you sent it to me,
but
then
did you see? Here's a video that's going around. It's on social media. So Britain, okay, I'm of the opinion Britain is lost.
Oh, absolutely.
Police knock on this lady's door at 2:30 in the morning to tell her to take a social media post down because it might be offensive. Could you imagine that? It's 2:30 in the morning and they're knocking on your door because of something you posted on social media.
But you're living in the United Kingdom and they allow that.
I've seen that video.
And that is just stunning.
But they allow it. That's the thing.
It's thought police.
That's their laws, though. That is their law.
I understand, and that's why it's concerning. We need to be aware of it so it doesn't happen.
But we can't change what happens there. We can only change what happens here
by knowing what happens there. Because if it happens there, it can very easily happen here.
Right.
If people vote the wrong way.
And it's so fucking dumb. Show up to my house and tell me to fucking.
Yeah, you imagine Jason. I mean, your door, hell, you'd never stop. It'd be like a line of police outside your door. What about me?
Yeah.
But apparently the toddler that got suspended from the school for being homophobic.
Suspended from preschool. That guy's a baller.
Apparently it's not an isolated case. Apparently 13 4 and 5-year-olds were suspended or permanently excluded from the school for the same reason.
Insanity.
These young motherfuckers decided to form a union. and then
these kids, at 3,
then it turned into a coup.
At 3, they're going down a life of crime because they were suspended from preschool.
What are you in for?
Yeah. What'd you do?
It's probably going to go get a tat the next day, right? They're going to form a gang. Give me a break.
It's a broken heart with mom written across it.
Here's the deal. I wonder if they could get a tat at 3 or 4 years old in Britain. Can they? I mean, if you can decide what sex you want to be at 3 or 4, I'm sure
the fact that they formed a gang.
But the funny thing is, they said the teacher's a coon ass, and that was perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, here we go. We're going to work that into the conversation. Well, that was a funny.
That was great.
That was just so stupid.
You guys picked up like you were just like old home week.
Well, look, I'll tell you what. You have not experienced insane until you live with a guy from Louisiana. My roommate Tom Adair from Shreveport was literally touched.
Did you guys sleep in the same bed?
I was scared to be sleeping in the same house with that guy, but he was hilarious and he was a bunch of fun, a good guy, and they are loyal and they're good people, and I have no problems with them whatsoever.
Well, all I know is that
here we go.
On our next podcast, I want to talk about Trump's new chief economist. Her name is Julia Pollock.
I wish you had said that to me.
Well, we don't have time this show, and we had
we're running out of time.
We had a guest on, and that was great having the guest on.
Yes,
I don't know much about her, but I intend to find out more.
You got to do an in-depth discussion or research.
I think it'd be well worth my time.
It would.
I think you should deep dive that.
About as deep as he can.
That's it. Teed up and
knocked out.
There you go.
Andrew, Dan and I talked about the next podcast potentially being Thursday. I know you're going out of town.
Well, I have some
some
technical
things.
emergency difficulties that I have to take care of. But as long as I'm back, that's great. If not,
Perfect.
I will catch up with you guys.
That is perfect.
I plan on it. Let's put it that way. I intend to be home.
quick zip up, zip back, but it's not quick. It's never quick.
There's just this.
How long does it take you to go there?
In a normal day, it would take me 7.5 hours,
Oh,
but
fuck.
they are suffering through 2 inches of ice, so it's causing a lot of trees to come down, which causes a lot of problems. So we'll have to wait and see.
We'll hold some of these stories
Yeah.
for the next one.
Michigan just sounds like a hellhole all of a sudden.
It is. It's suffering this year through some really wicked weather lately. But anyway, so that's just my business I have to deal with. So whatever, no big deal. But Thursday sounds like a doable deal.
Cool. Thursday 5 p.m. people. We'll be back. We'll be back here with you. We've got some other stories that we're going to cover that we didn't get to today, but they'll still be somewhat relevant. And if they're not, then they're gone, and we'll throw in the relevance. But
Thanks for watching the show.
everybody. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. Make sure you download the audio and help us out.
Peace.
We appreciate it. We're starting to gain traction, which is good. So and it's all because of you guys, and we appreciate you. And we'll see you Thursday, 5 p.m.
See you.